Welcome back. Hold on. Why is this so? Welcome back to the Crosswind Pod. My name's Sammy.
I'm Ben.
Today's episode is going to be more focused on passenger aviation, so it'll affect more people out there. So the first thing is Spirit Airlines are potentially going to be bought out by the U.S. government. We're going to try to avoid the political stuff, just letting you know. So
Yeah.
try to keep it neutral.
Yeah, so Spirit Airlines has, for any of you who aren't in America, Spirit Airlines is an ultra low cost airline, which those don't tend to do as well in America. There are quite a few of those in Europe that are very successful, such as Ryanair or EasyJet or Jet2. However, in America, most of them are not very successful.
Yeah, they famously Spirit Airlines has done pretty
Yeah.
poorly. They've had multiple bankruptcies, especially with this, with the price of fuel so high. This is what drove them to declaring bankruptcy. But the U.S. government is potentially considering buying them out. But yeah, I don't know how they'll do for the U.S. government because, as we said, low cost airline. It'd have to change the whole. The whole scheme of it, because low-cost airlines are not very good
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Like the last time Spirit reported a profit was back in 2019 with $335 million dollars in net profit.
Yep.
Every year since then, they have had a net loss with $429 million for 2020, $473 million for 21, $554 million for 22, just more and more until it finally culminated at the last reported year, which is 2024, with 1.23 billion in losses.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and that's
it's like the most recent. The Southwest used to be a low-cost carrier, but they're not anymore. They adapted to the U.S. market because the U.S. passengers generally they're more willing to spend more on flights. That's apparent, especially with like more and more. There are more and more people flying business class. That's why all the airlines are having more and more business seats in their new planes.
yeah.
So United and Delta, they both got new 787s. I think, right? No,
I believe.
wait. Well, they're going to. Not yet, but they're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So United, they have their Coastliner and their other version. They have the. No, was that the A321neo or was that 787?
For what?
For United, their Coastliner that was A321, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, but they're gonna have the single aisle, but it's gonna be. They're gonna have like a full business. Yeah, and then Delta has. They're getting a new business class seats. It looks really nice. You can pop it up on screen.
Yeah. And multiple other countries do have national airlines. Most notably to us is Polish Airlines, which is one of the world's oldest airlines still in operation, founded in 1928. Had been in operation since then. And they're part of the Star Alliance, which includes Lufthansa and multiple other airlines in Europe. And they are successful, but they are not a low cost carrier, and because they are part of Lufthansa's Star Alliance, they are often, if you book a flight through Lufthansa, like my example is I am flying from ORD Chicago to Frankfurt on a Boeing 747, and then from Frankfurt to Poland will be on a Polish Airlines aircraft, and that was all booked through Lufthansa, which obviously gives Polish Airlines a much bigger share because
Kickback, yeah.
being booked through Lufthansa, meaning people are more likely to book it if they're flying from a location that Lufthansa flies out of. Yeah.
Because Lufthansa has a much bigger fleet than Air Poland does.
Yes.
gonna. So going back to the new things. So Delta, they're getting the A350-1000, and the A330s are getting upgrades. So these new seats, they're gonna have full closing doors. I think they're kind of similar to their
Floor to
older,
ceiling
older
doors
ones.
for business or
Not floor to ceiling.
Oh,
They're gonna have closing doors, just suite doors. They're gonna be little suites. They have nice screens.
so like what the Lufthansa or the new Lufthansa A350s have, where
maybe,
they have like
yeah,
a suite that's
kinda.
like kind of recessed inward.
And they're gonna be the staggered, so like one's on the inside,
Yeah.
outside, inside. That
Is it
just-
going to be, because like we'll throw a picture up on screen, but the Lufthansa layout,
the Allegris?
the Allegris layout on the new A350s for business class, certain seats, like for example, there's one seat near the front that's two seats right next to each other, and there's a divider that can be lowered for if you have a couple who wants to fly together. And then there's one seat that is kind of recessed inward a little bit, which gives you a little bit more privacy. And there's one that gives you slightly more room off to your side. There's one that gives you more leg room. Is it going to be more like that, or is it going to be every seat's the exact same?
Well, I think they're not. They're not gonna have the mega suites in the front of the cabin. They're gonna be the only U.S. airline to not have that. Well, the only
Really?
out of only one of the big three.
Yeah.
It seems like also on the A350, they're gonna have the what's it called, the suites they all the point in herringbone.
yeah.
Herringbone. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Then I guess one of the other planes. It's oh no. It's got a 24-inch screen with 4K, and they have Bluetooth connectivity, and they're gonna have the seats are supposed to have memory foam cushions built in, so you don't have to have a comforter or a mattress topper, so it'll be easier. They don't have to buy as much stuff and like wash as much stuff.
Memory foam is notoriously hard to keep clean, though, especially when you have a lot of people who are going
Yeah.
to be
Well,
on
I think
it.
it's gonna have a
They'll probably put a
leather
sheet.
a
Yeah.
leather cover over it. Like
Oh,
it's
okay,
just
yeah.
built in, so it's softer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be directly exposed.
And like I will be flying like Lufthansa, so I'll be in Allegris, first class, and then on the way back to America, and then on the way to Europe, I will be on a 747-8, and Lufthansa's Allegris first class. I have never been on the Allegris. I've been on one of their older A350s in business class, and it was very nice. The one thing that I had was that the seat that I had, the controller, the remote for the TV just did not work.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I flew on the 747-8. I flew from the same route, the O'Hare to Frankfurt. Could be on the same plane. I was in business. I flew. They're in the 222 configuration, so
Yeah.
it's not the 121. It's not as nice, but it's still really nice, and very lucky that I got to be able to fly on one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have their upstairs too, which is nice,
Yeah.
but it's also the same business class. Seems.
Yeah. So do you have any more news on your end, or?
Oh well, they're also getting a new. It seems like they're getting a new premium economy selection. Seems pretty nice. They have the leg
Yeah.
rest, not the leg rest, but they have like the leg extension thingies.
Yeah.
But they don't have the horse blinders, as I like to call them. Like where they don't have the shields or you don't
Oh,
see
yeah.
the neighbor. Which honestly, they have those on their new first class, the new domestic first class seats.
Yeah.
You know, they're new. I don't know which plane it is, but they're waiting to get the first class, like, certified by the FAA or the business class. So they're flying them domestically, but they're doing domestic first seats. So they have like the new domestic first seats instead of the suites. Yeah, and then Go ahead and talk. So, 777X has some pretty interesting news. They did their rejected takeoff testing. Seemed to go pretty
Yeah.
well. They went like really fast. They got up to like 190, I think.
Yes. However, the one thing that I have observed is that the 777X has been in testing and has been in testing production for so long that it has gotten to a point where the first 30 or so aircraft that were made are having to have major structural changes made, heavily increasing the cost of the program.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just they've made changes
Yeah.
to the general design.
I mean, the whole program is insanely overcost and delayed.
Yeah,
it was supposed. I mean, I recall back in.
It's supposed to come out in like 2020.
Yeah, it was
Then
supposed to come
again,
out in
there was
2020.
COVID and
The
stuff.
first one flew in January of 20.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's total.
they started manufacturing in 2017. They're supposed to be introduced at 2027. I mean,
Yeah.
they might make that deadline. Probably not, but
Yeah, considering we're already through the first quarter of 2026.
yeah, it said Boeing announced plans to conduct the first flight of a production 777X in April 2026, which
Yeah. The one thing that
didn't
will
happen.
the one thing that will be interesting about 777X is I believe that it's the only Boeing aircraft that doesn't have multiple engine options available. Well, pre 777 Max
or
or
they're doing
737 Max.
the GE,
Yeah, just the G90.
the G90. So
But I believe everything before the 737 Max.
you could do a 777X like
Yeah, you could.
dash 2,
Yeah. Well, I believe right now we have
Bruh.
Dash 9.
quadruple X, quadruple 7X, or 777XX.
Yeah, but
They have their the
Yeah.
foldable wingtips is interesting.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
nice for storage.
Yes, they'll be able to fit in normal wide body gates. They won't.
Oh,
have
do
to,
they have?
They'll be able to fit in normal wide body gates. They won't have to go into like the big ones like the A380 and the 747 use. So it'll be
Yeah.
more widely available to more airports.
However, the note is that the whole point of the 777X was to compete with the A350 with the later A350s like the
1000.
XWB and the 1000s. Obviously, it has failed to meet that deadline because
It's not out yet.
and the A350
Been out for
has
a little
been
bit.
in the first one was in 2015,
Yeah, I mean,
and they have 710 made as of March of this year.
yeah. How many 777Xs do they have?
I mean none technically because they're not really in use,
Yeah,
and none of the
you
ones that they currently have can be
sold.
sold. I believe even once they're done, they have to make new ones. Although they do have 619 orders.
Yeah, Emirates has ordered 150 of them.
Yeah, there's 521 for the Dash 9, 35 for the Dash 8, and 63 for the Dash 8F, which is a freighter variant. It looks like the largest order is Emirates. They have
Yeah, the 150. Yeah.
115 in 14, 65 more, 55 more. So yeah.
Yeah. So are they built? They're building them in St.
Who's
Louis.
getting? I believe so. Who's getting freighters?
Don't know. Are they gonna have a
Qatar.
777XF?
Qatar, Cargo Lux, and Lufthansa, along with
Yeah.
China Airlines and along with China Airlines and
That would be pretty nice.
All Nippon Airways have ordered freighters.
So then,
Yeah, Emirates has 270 orders total
yeah, that's
for all
quite a bit
777 variants.
for a plan that's not out yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it does come out, it's gonna be big for the industry.
And it's gonna be many years before they even make it to, because
'Cause there's, as of February 2026, there's been 5 777Xs built.
yeah,
So, yeah, you said they have to get like rebuilt.
yep. Their plan is to have the first production one flown this month.
Which, unless they do it in 2 days, I don't. Well, in one day.
Oh
So
yeah,
Today and tomorrow.
Yeah,
Don't
unless
know how
that
it's gonna
happens
turn out.
as of today or tomorrow, which is the 29th and or the 30th, then they will not meet that.
Yeah, and so news from Alaska Airlines, they had their first flight to Europe yesterday.
Yeah.
It was call sign ASA 180, I think. I could be totally wrong, but it's gonna open some more opportunities for people out of the West Coast.
Yeah.
Going straight from it was Seattle to Rome, which was a pretty interesting
Very
flight
interesting flight. You'd think they would want to fly
to like
from
Heathrow or something.
or even just fly from the West Coast or the East Coast instead of the West.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're based in Seattle, so
Yeah, that would make sense then.
do they have any hubs? I think they have a hub on the East Coast,
I don't know if they do because I think
or like more east, not the East Coast, but more east. They fly out of Cincinnati quite a bit.
they have a
I think.
hub.
I don't know. Honestly, Anchorage,
No.
or is the furthest east one?
Probably Boise, Idaho.
I didn't know that was a hub.
They regularly fly out of there.
Yeah.
Their main ones are like Seattle, Portland, obviously Anchorage because that's in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a benefit of being in the U.S. You can fly pretty much anywhere. Not pretty much anywhere, but there's a lot more options. So you don't have to do like Fifth Freedom flights. So you can just go straight to the cities you want to operate out of.
Yeah. So in other news, Joby Aviation has completed their first NYC test flight with their electric air taxi going from JFK to Manhattan. Their goal was to be able to turn what is roughly a 1 to 2 hour long drive into a 7-minute flight going from from a heliport in downtown New York to JFK or potentially other locations in the New York area.
Yeah.
The big benefit of the Joby Aviation, they use what's called an eVTOL, which is an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. It's more...
Does it have the rotating...
Yes. It has multiple props that
Osprey?
rotate. No, it's not even like Osprey. It's...
There's multiple...
Let me find a... We'll throw a picture up, but it has... Well, 6 tilting propellers.
Yeah,
But the big benefit of it over another helicopter is that it has a maximum volume. The loudest it gets when takeoff is only 65 decibels.
Wow.
Which for a
That's
place like New York where
electric.
noise pollution is a
Big issue.
something like that is much more useful than a helicopter.
Yeah, but I guess another big thing is they won't really be able to fly into like downtown, like central. Is they can only fly into the coast or like the coast by the rivers because of the New York does not allow helipads on top of buildings. Just there was that the incident on the Pan Am building, I think. I think that was a pretty long time ago though, but
yeah. But there's that, and then...
Is there something else you want to talk about?
Was there? This is interesting, but I don't know. Let me find it again. I mean, kind of unrelated, but the Federation of Indian Airlines, which is Air India, Indigo, and SpiceJet, are currently appealing to the government over the same issue that